Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
Huh? Nope. Nope.
Mamma mia!
This is Jason from Retro Gaming Asylum. Welcome to Game Masters.
All right, we are live, and it is what is today? Wednesday. The
It's always
27th?
Wednesday.
I don't know. It's almost the end of May. That's all I know. It feels like winter yet, except for the last 2 days. It's been like 80 degrees. So
Really, it's been cold here, cold and stormy.
you've been getting rain, yeah. You've been getting. We're away from
Yeah,
the rain,
all the
so-
rain.
yeah.
If you got it, it's coming this way. Like that's
We did.
how it is. It's,
We got rain the last couple of days, like over Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend, but not like what you're getting right now. So
yeah, it happens. Just rainy and gloomy.
yeah, we got a big weekend coming up here. The Game Masters will be live and in living color. We will be at Stone Age Gamer, and
Yes.
Brandy's coming up here this
Stone Age
weekend. We're going to be
Gamer.
getting tons of shenanigans going on this weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Shenanigans.
Always
I thought it
shenanigans.
was just pizza.
Well,
Just pizza, right?
There'll be pizza shenanigans. So I was telling Brandy before the show. So I should have waited till the show started, but I got this email from a guy.
And he clicked on it.
No. He claimed that I used music from his studio illegally, that it was copywritten stuff. And usually, like, all the music I use is from YouTube, which is fair use. You know, they have that library that we all get our music from. And so I'm pretty good with the music as far as, like, not using people's that are copywritten or whatnot. And so I was really nice to him because he was like, how can we remedy this? Like, it wrote like it was a professional. It wasn't like, you know,
a scam.
Yeah, it didn't kind of sound scammy. The one thing that kind of caught me in the email was your show. He didn't say you and your partner. He didn't say you and the other creator. He said your show. So right away, like, my flag went up, right?
Yeah.
And so I was nice to him, and I was like, oh, you know, that's, you know, accidents happen. I said, no, I'm willing to work with you. If I used your song in the show, I apologize. I said, but it does benefit you. You make all the royalties from it. That's the way YouTube works. But if you want me to, I'll remove it. I'm happy to do that, or you can make money off of it. I said, just send me the timestamp and the video name and title, and I'll go take a look at it. So he responds about 2 or 3 days later, and he says, if you click this link, it will take you right to the video that is in question. Where's that?
That's a scam.
And I didn't click on it, and I was like, yep, spam, delete.
I've gotten, now that you say that, I've gotten a couple of those, and I almost clicked on the links.
Don't click the links. Don't click, because seriously, YouTube will nail you if you've got even songs that you have permission for. Like, I have a guy that wrote some songs that I've used on older videos back when I did tech. I have the license to use them. Mm-hmm. I had to fight it every single time I used a song on a video. I had to upload the license to it. YouTube does not play around when it comes to stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, I never got nailed for, you know, any kind outside of the country. You can get nailed for stuff because they're weird in other countries with what they allow.
They don't approve certain things. I've noticed that for around the holidays, when I do my 25 days of Christmas giveaways, and I play that song, "It's the Holiday Season," or something like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, in like 24 countries or something, that song is not okay.
Yeah.
So it gets me every time. But I mean, it's they're giveaways for the people, so I don't monetize that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about those videos going viral or monetization.
Exactly.
Or, you know, I'm just giving back. That's
my thing was, like, I mean, we've gotten nailed before for like when we played like the Mario Galaxy, even though there was no audio. We got dinged on it and we couldn't monetize, but we're like, yeah, whatever. So I knew if Brandy didn't tell me, like, hey, did you get something about, you know, using somebody's audio clip? I was like, the flags were already flying with it. But again, it was a possibility that he was trying to gain access to my YouTube channel, and he was trying to see if I was still as dumb as I was, you know, a couple months ago. So
you've grown a lot, okay? I will say.
Wiser in my older age, right?
Yeah, you're getting a little wiser, educating on this whole scamming
trying to keep people safe. Trying to keep people safe, including myself.
Yeah, exactly. We've come a long way here.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, okay?
I'm going to say what's up to Devastator in the chat room. What's going on? He goes, hey, this is going to be a good show. That was 8 minutes ago. You've got a bunch of people in your chat room. Go ahead and give them a shout out. We'll start with the Pigs 18, it looks like, down below.
Yes. Okay, very cool. Talking about deals there. Yes, we always are into deals. But so at the very beginning, we have Kevin. He popped on in and said, pizza. That's what's missing.
That guy always wants pizza.
I know. Well, if you guys want pizza, you guys got to stay tuned because we will be having some pizza. Then, of course, Intellivision Gamer is in the chat. Master Games Guru. We have Ted Adam Green in the chat. the Germ, Howdy Howdy. We have Tandrilla Tube, and then yes, we have Howie Carson.
What's
Very
going
cool.
on? All right. Well, great to
Everyone's
see all you
coming on
guys here. Everybody's rolling in. That's why I figured we'd just chit chat about that little bit of incident that happened earlier. I thought it was kind of interesting. So we've got a
We
busy.
almost didn't start, you know.
We almost didn't start.
We got hacked.
My channel would have been hacked or something.
Yeah.
We've got a busy next 2 weeks. We've got Stone Age Gamer this weekend. Brandy will be here. Then she'll go home for a week, and then it's back out to Columbus. You might as well just buy a house here and just live in Ohio as much as
I
you're
was
spending
thinking
time.
I should just stay for the whole week, right?
Stay the whole
Like,
week.
I should
Yeah,
just-
we could get into trouble up here. That'll work.
Yeah, I could just stay for the whole week, so
Stay
I don't
for
have
the
to
whole
go
week.
back home.
Yep.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Somebody says if you use copyright song unknowing, I don't think it's as bad. No, people are
Yeah, if you don't know.
most people are willing to work with you. They'll reach out to you first, but then they'll seek litigation if. And real quick, I did have a situation back when I was doing tech and I was on the radio. I had been given bumpers. The radio station was out of Belvedere, Illinois. It was called BNNS Radio. And I did their tech show, and it was every day from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. And they gave me a list of, you know how like radio stations give you like call signs and bumpers, and like so at 12 minutes past the hour, you have to play this. You're listening to BNNS Radio out of Belvedere, Illinois, your home of the tech buzz. That's what it basically sounded like. And it would have like bumper music behind it, right?
Okay.
So I would have to play the call sign every 12 minutes in between my radio show. And what I would have to do when I'd come back for it, depending on what time it was, I'd have to, talk about the weather. I'd have to talk about the upcoming show that was coming up on the, the hour, what we're talking about, and then what show is going to precede me. And all of a sudden, I got this email that said, we're going to sue you for, I forget how he worded it, but he was going to sue me for damages because of the music that I use on my radio program. And I was like, I don't use music on my radio. And then it hit me like, oh my gosh, the bumpers. And I said, do you mean the bumpers? And they're like, yeah, you're part of that BNNS radio. And I'm like, well, I'm just one of their programs. I said, we get told that we're supposed to play these bumpers. I said, I have no control over that. And they're like, oh. So they said, the station is who we should be going after. I was like, yeah. I said, I'm happy to remove it from my recorded video on YouTube, but this is getting played over the radio in Belvedere, Illinois. I'm like,
go for the people with money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's not on me, and they said, do you happen to have an email where they sent you that? I said, oh, absolutely. I have the email from it. And so I forwarded the email where they said, these are, and I even asked him, that was the funny part. I asked the station manager, is this copyrighted music or not? Because I said, it's going to be on YouTube. He's like, oh no, we have the copyrights for it. Says it in the email. And I forwarded it to the company that was seeking litigation. They're like, okay, but we're not going to go after you, but we'd appreciate it if you did remove it from your YouTube channel. And I'm scared at this point. Like, I don't know if I actually had to do that, but I was like, no, I'm going to do it. So I went through and I edited out of the episodes. YouTube makes it easy. So I just went in and did it.
Wow.
But no, that was legit. And they got sued for $15,000. So that's no joke. That was the one time it was legit. And, I ended up, they weren't happy with me after that because I basically ratted them out, but I was like, I'm not going down for this. So my time at the radio station was over, but I wasn't getting paid anyways. It was just something that I did for the podcast anyway. So the legit stuff is out there, with that.
Yeah. Just don't click on the links though.
Don't click on the links. Just like Daryl. Don't click on the links. What's going on, Daryl? Hey guys, sorry I got caught up talking to Contry. He's talking to Pat Contry, is he? All right. Howie Carson, we're friendly in Columbus. So you are in Columbus. That's cool. You'll be seeing Brandy and I at Korg's in 2 weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun if you're coming out to Korg's. Hopefully you're coming out to Korg's. You'll see
you
us.
should, because it'll be a really fun time. We have big things happening there.
It's the debut. It's our debut, our re-debut. It's the Game Masters 2.0 live, right? Is that what are we calling it? I don't even know.
I don't know, but I feel like it's like better than 2.0. It's like
Better than 2.0? I don't know.
even
What I did
better.
before was pretty good. People liked it, but I think this will
Wait,
be a
no,
step up.
yeah, that. But like, I'm talking about us, like this
Oh,
whole
oh, oh, oh.
big thing, like this big,
The
big,
big thing.
Yeah.
I just have one question. What's the big thing? What are we talking about?
I can't tell anyone. I'm not spilling the beans here.
Well, at least one of us knows what's going on. Anyways, so we got a fun-filled, packed show for you guys today. And we're going to be talking about what's missing from today's collecting. You know, Brandy and I were kind of noodling around like what to talk about, and yeah, we find ourselves complaining a lot. Not about, life, but we complain like, man, remember before the pandemic how easy it was to go out to, Goodwill or Salvation Army or the pawn shops, and you could find all this stuff, and it's like now all of a sudden it's a chore. Goodwill's gotten wise to it. I mean, heck, 10 years ago it was probably easier for you to game hunt than it is now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of my stuff back in the day for like dirt cheap. It's like people were getting rid of stuff because they didn't want it. And this is back when like Goodwill actually had games in store and they didn't send it all to their website that you could bid on. And, I just feel like there weren't like many resellers fighting each other over things and stuff like that. Obviously, there are still deals because we still find stuff, but it's just not quite the same. Just not the same.
I've even gone as far, Brandy, and I know other people have done videos where I've gone as far as saying, you just can't game hunt in Eastern Ohio anymore. You can't go out and find the things. If I took you out, well, if you were here for more time and I took you out to the places that I normally go game hunting at, I honestly
I'd find gold.
No, I honestly think you'd come back and you'd be like, wow, this is drier than the Sahara Desert. When you go into a Goodwill and the only game that you see is Madden 2005 or Barbie's whatever for PS2, the well has run dry. And unfortunately, I'm going into, pawn shops, and all I'm seeing is like your Call of Duties, your Maddens, your Battlefields, your NBAs, it's slim, and I mean slim pickings when it comes to games.
Yeah, I mean, I do notice that a lot. Whenever I post videos on the GameStop stuff or whatever's going on, I do get a lot of people saying, my GameStop's over an hour away. Our closest game store is over an hour away. We don't have thrift stores. We don't have this. We don't have that. And then I think about how lucky I am. Like you were talking about too, even with GameStop, not finding all those deals and your stores didn't have anything. I have like over 5, 6, 7 stores within like an hour radius. Like I can hit a bunch of stores on my way home or like to work or in between. And there used to be even more, but several have, obviously shut down. But I have tons of activity on Facebook Marketplace. There are tons of different things popping up. And yeah, it's like few and far between. And you got to go to the thrift store like 10 times to find a deal or two. But I don't know. I think I'm just lucky where I do have a lot. And maybe if I lived somewhere where there wasn't a lot, I would struggle a little bit more. Or maybe I would have to branch out even further, which obviously takes away time and things like that.
So I've given up. You mentioned Facebook Marketplace, okay? I've pretty much given up on Facebook Marketplace, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull this. Let me see here. See details. Oh, here we go. All right. So here's a little show and tell, and I don't really care if people see this. Game Boy printer, complete in box. Look what he's asking for it, and it works. Whoops, get out of here. Was $60. Now he wants $50 for the whole thing. He's about 2 hours from me. So I says to the nice guy, I says to him, I said, here you can see my little chat. I'm in Hubbard, Ohio. Would you be willing to ship the Game Boy printer? He goes, sorry, I don't ship. Oh, here, let me zoom it in so y'all can see this. Okay, hang on. Okay, can you see that? Right here. He says, sorry, I don't ship. I said, I'll be paying for shipping. I understand if you still don't want to. I just wanted to let you know that you weren't expected to be paying for shipping. He goes, I'm good. Still, thanks.
Okay, can I just say I'm on his side of that?
What do you mean you're on his side of that?
So I sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. It's always like home decor or something that we're decluttering or something, you know? And I post the items. Okay, here's an example. I have a better one.
But if I'm going to pay for the shipping, just ship the stupid thing out.
Okay, listen to my reasoning. So I posted, it's one of those Halloween masks. I got it like back in like my college days. I dressed up as I did like Nightmare on Elm Street, and then I ended up buying like different horror themed collectibles.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, one of them is like an actual Halloween mask, and it's like by the brand NECA. And I bought that, and I posted it for sale on Facebook Marketplace with some Halloween stuff. And I put it for like $25, and it came with like another mask, that mask that's collectible. It's worth a little bit more money, but it's opened. I've worn it, so I'm not charging top dollar. And then I posted like another Halloween Nightmare on Elm Street bundle where it was like the shirt, the mask, the claw, like just everything. And that's $25. So someone messaged me and said, hey, if I give you $40 for the mask, will you ship it? And I was like, it's local pickup only. Now, mind you, I'm only asking $25. I'm sure that shipping will cover it. And then he's like, come on, Queen Brandy. That's what he calls me. He's like, Queen Brandy, change your mind. If you ship, I'll pay you more. And I was like, no, I was hoping for the convenience of it, just someone local to come pick it up. So then I lowered it down to $20. And he said, Queen B, please ship this. I'll pay you more.
Well, and that's the thing. You're going to use more in gas to go pick it up 2 hours away. This is what sellers are not realizing. This is where I'm going to go the opposite way. You're saying, okay, you want the convenience of somebody local, but you want to sell the item. So here's somebody who's offering to pay shipping. So you have to take a little bit of time at it. Like what I usually do, if the shipping is like $15, I'll give them a $20 because I know they got to drive to the post office. Dear Lord, that they have to go to like UPS or FedEx. Give them the extra money, but that $20 is cheaper than me driving 2 hours and using gas 2 hours each way.
Yeah. But you also don't know. Does he already have shipping stuff? Does he have a box? Does he have
just throw in
materials?
one of them stupid envelopes? Like you don't have to go all out crazy. Come on.
Yeah, and then he'll have to worry about payment, and some people are scared. And I'm always scared that there's going to be a chargeback or something, so I want cash in person. And like I'll even take like $10 for.
But PayPal is just as good as cash. Come on now.
I don't know though. Like I side with him because it's like a whole hassle, and especially when I had my surgery, and I was like selling things, I couldn't really get up off the couch, so I would just put the stuff out or have.
But sometimes people are busy; they can't just get up and drive and meet for 2 hours for the like. As much as you're going to spend in gas, with gas prices being almost $5 for gas, okay. I can buy one of these from eBay for $150, and it's still cheaper than me driving out and picking this thing up for $50. And wait, let me add this. I'm verified on Facebook. I have a nice little check mark by my name, which means I'm legit. Means I'm more legit than any other person on Facebook. So I'm not going to scam you.
Well,
but he still wouldn't ship it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also afraid to like buy stuff. Well, I don't want to say that because most of the time if I see something on Facebook, I'm always worried that if I buy it, it's going to be a scam unless I get it in person.
But he didn't say only. Somebody said about cash only transaction. He didn't say that. Just says for sale. It doesn't say local pickup. It doesn't say will not ship.
Oh, I put that in. I always put that
If you
in mine.
put that in, then my expectation is you're not going to ship it, so therefore I wouldn't ask. But if you don't put that in there, hey, everything's fair game.
Yeah, I put that in there, and then I always say, thank you so much for the offer. If I decide to ship, I'll let you know. So that's what I told the guy who keeps saying, Queen Brandy.
Queen Brandy.
Maybe one day
you should
I'll
ship it to him.
I should. Then I'll get my address. Yeah.
Oh, you could spoof it.
I don't know. I feel weird. I'd rather just have the cash, like $20, $10, whatever. Take it to a convention.
You're what's wrong with Facebook Marketplace. All right.
You snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose. Man, Linda, help me out in the chat room. Linda, the gaming girl, is over here in the chat room. Help me out here. I mean, tell Brandy she just needs to ship it. Listen, look at this guy here, Mister. I agree with Brandy here. Says the guy he wants me to ship stuff. He wants. I was like, Daryl, do you want to just wait for the convention and I'll just bring it to you? You know, like I go. Oh no, ship it. And he's gonna side. And he's gonna side with you.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let me get Adam over here. He says, "How do you guys feel about opening retro sealed games? I have quite a few sealed PS2 games, and I badly want to open them."
No. Because you can get them open.
Yeah, I would try to find to get them open. Linda says a PO box. I agree. There's so many ways around this.
Yeah, then you gotta pay money for it, and I like.
Oh, you're a cheapskate.
$100.
She's a cheapskate. All right, let's roll with something here. I do have something for the news. And I didn't tell her because I want it to be a surprise. But check this out.
No.
That's my little timeout for Brandy. We go into like a quick little segment. All right. So in the news, okay, today 007 launched for the PS5. So we're all like, yay. Okay. Now the bigger news article, the bigger pressing article, the thing that I wanted to talk about most. Limited Run Games, everybody's favorite company.
Okay.
So we all know it takes forever and ever for Limited Run Games to ship anything. So, back in sometime last year, I had bought that Castlevania pre-order. Remember the box set it was? I already had it for PS5, but I ordered it for Switch just because I'm a double dipper and I had plenty of money. I was just, sending that money, right? But Limited Run also did that 10th anniversary t-shirt. So I pre-ordered it.
Uh-huh.
So I forget half the time what I order from Limited Run. So I happened to go into my Limited Run and see, and I'm like, I ordered a t-shirt back last year from Limited Run for their 10th anniversary. And I started looking at, and I looked at the tracking, and it was shipped. And supposedly it was delivered to my house, DHL, on November 7th. But guess what? It wasn't delivered to my house. I never got it.
Wow. So,
my fault, right? I should keep better track of this stuff and should have contacted them sooner. So I just out of curiosity, I reached out to Limited Run, and it was like, hey, this says it was delivered, but I never got it. And it's funny when you go under their support, and anybody can do it. If you go under their support center, one of the options in here, like if you go through it, one of the options is it says my item was delivered, but I never received it. So this has happened. No. This has happened more than once to somebody. Okay.
So that's like a common situation.
That's a common situation. So I'm telling them, I'm like, I didn't get this, and I was like, do you think you guys can resend it? I'll even pay shipping. There, we're going with shipping here again. Okay, we're going back into shipping. I'll pay shipping.
Here we go.
And the one guy from support writes me back and he goes, hey, I'm sorry to hear about this. And he says, unfortunately, we can only ship reissue items within 30 days of the purchase. And I'm like, well, how are you gonna reissue 30 days of purchase? You guys don't ship it out till a year later.
Yeah, how does
that work? So you will not replace it if it's after the 30 days after I purchased it, but you don't ship it for a year. So,
Yeah,
okay, that was strike one. So strike two, I says, because I was kind of irritated. I was like, well, I really want the shirt. Can you send me an invoice? I'll buy the stupid thing again, but I want you to ship it right away. So another guy from support gets in there, and he's like, I'm sorry to hear this. He says, unfortunately, we don't have the shirt anymore, hence it's limited run. So the best I can do is refund you your money. So I was like, okay, I'll suck it up. So as it is, right?
That's terrible.
So he says to me, he says, but before I can refund you the money, can you let me know what credit card that you put this on? And I'm like, dude, this was like a year and a half ago. I said, I've gotten 2 debit card replacements since then because of, when I got hacked, I got a new debit card, and before that I got a hack.
Yeah, wouldn't be putting that information anyway.
No, and I said to him, I was like, I couldn't tell you which one it was on. I said, I could have used Shop, where I tie it to Shop, and you just go into Shop and do it. But I used my debit card. And he goes to me, he responds 2 days later. He goes, oh, that's okay. Just give me your PayPal. So I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you just say this in the first place? But all right. So I give him my PayPal.
Seems like sketchy. This seems weird.
Well, he can't steal anything from me from PayPal anyways. So he writes me back and he goes, oh, it doesn't seem, he says, it doesn't appear that your account is set up for friends and family. So I'm going to send you the money back, but you're going to get hit with a fee. And at this point, I'm just like, all right, I'm getting some money back. I don't even care anymore. I'm tired of talking to this guy. And the only reason I'm telling you guys this is because I want you to understand the significance of this. Because if you had your heart set on buying something from this, because if you remember, Brandy had a story like this about, 2 weeks ago, Brandy?
Yeah, was it?
It was a different company.
Premium, strictly limited.
Strictly limited. So now I had it with limited run. And I'm like, okay, let me ask you guys in the chat room, both chat rooms. Have you ordered anything from limited run? And if you do, and you know it's going to take a year, potentially, even 6 months, do you go back into your limited run and check if you're coming up on 6 months, if it's getting closer to ship? Or are you like myself, or are you like Brandy, that it just shows up in your mailbox and you go, oh yeah, that's right, I ordered that like 8 months ago? Or if you didn't get it, you start wondering, right?
Because strictly limited, so like you're asking, I was just waiting for the stuff to arrive. When you order a bunch of stuff and a couple of those are pre-orders, typically if you don't pay for extra shipping or throw in extra stuff, you know me, I'm trying to save a buck. So I waited, and I was like, I'll just wait until the last item comes in and then everything will be shipped out. Well, I had some free time, so I went in and I was looking at my current orders. And here, I just said, hi there, my name is blah, blah, blah. I placed 2 orders on 1/18/2024, and there were 2 pre-orders in the mix. Didn't anticipate it taking that long. So 2024, January, and this was March of 2026, and I hadn't gotten. So over 2 years later, I didn't even get my games, and then they sold a game that I had pre-ordered, I had paid the money for. They sold it to someone else, but kept my money. And then they were just like, you could change it out for like, equal credit, which I ended up picking a game that might have been like $5 more because they didn't have any that were equal anymore. No games were $25. They were all $30. So then they ended up sending me a different game, and then they sent me like a bunch of stickers and postcards or something like that. But it was the principle of it. I ordered that game. I waited over 2 years. They sold my copy to someone else, and all because I didn't feel like checking in a timely manner or whatever. Like, I guess it was sold to someone else. But like, I don't have time to like look up a lot of orders, especially if all these companies, like limited run games, strictly limited, like all of them, they take years to ship out. I don't have time to like look every single day. Like, let me check on the status. Let me log in. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just hoping that I pay money and these items will show up.
That's what I do. But I think what got me, Brandy, was the fact that we cannot ship a replacement 30 days after purchasing.
Yeah, that doesn't make
How
sense.
can you say that? How can you say that when you're not getting some of these collector's editions that I did with Castlevania? Took a year and a half to get it. Brandy, when we were told about the Rugrats was going to damage our Nintendo unit. Okay,
Yeah.
first it took a year and a half to get the game, right?
Uh-huh.
Then we get the dang game. They say, oh, don't put it in your Nintendo, which it works fine in mine. They're like, it'll blow it up. Whatever. They're like, but we're going to send you a free copy to replace it so you have your game. Brandy, how long did it take them to ship that other game that they were going to send us?
Wasn't that a long time too?
Another year and a half it took us.
Yeah.
So 3 years have gone by since then. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't reach out to them and be like, hey, I thought you guys were going to send me. I totally forgot about it. And I think that happens with most people that order from these companies like Limited Run and some of the other ones that are out there. I don't know about you, but I don't have time to sit there and look at my calendar and go, well, let's see, I pre-ordered it this date. Like,
Let me do the math real quick. Let me see how
Right.
many months it'll take. Let me check up. Oh, it's 8 a.m. Is it going to ship by noon? Like, it's
like
we don't have time for that.
No.
You know?
I pre-ordered a 3D printer back in April, and I'm watching in like forums all the time. It's supposed to be delivered, or it was supposed to be shipped out mid-May, and you know how everything goes. It doesn't go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even. If it gets here by the end of July, it gets here by the end of July. I don't care. I've got so many other things on my plate. I'm not really thinking about it, right? But like, maybe I'm the weird one. Maybe you're the weird one too. Like, maybe a lot of these people do keep up with it and they have an alarm set on their phone. I don't know, but I just feel like I just think it's poor, and I'm really like disappointed that they don't even have any extra to the fact that in case somebody's got damage, like what if you bought it and it was all jacked up, right? Like it had stains on it or something. Are you telling me that they're not going to replace it?
Yeah, I mean, I know that they do at least have some extras of their games. Now, I don't know about merchandise because when I have been at their store location, I went at least one time. Did I go a second time? I don't remember. I at least went one time though, and they had a section where it was all the damaged games, like the cases or like the seal was ripped. So what I would imagine is those are games that were sent to someone and they arrived in that condition. And then that person said, I want a replacement. So then they would send it back and then give them a replacement. And then they mark down the one that's like slightly ripped open or like the collector's box has like a huge dent in it. And they take like 40 to 80% off of some of these games.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not trying to hate on them. Like, guys, I mean, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that have love-hate relationship with this company.
a lot of things, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, I try to put the politics aside for these companies, but like, come on, guys, do better. It's like we're giving you our money interest-free to use for a year to get all this stuff together, right? You know, I see some of the guys over in my chat, like Mr. Rightway, he says about he's still waiting on the Sonic and Shadow Collector's Edition. So didn't that go on? Wasn't that like pre-order like a year ago or something like that?
Yeah, I can't remember
Like
if I
half a
did that
year?
one or not.
But it's like, okay, what you can't expect people to remember when like when Castlevania showed up, I totally forgot I even pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
I did. I totally forgot. And all of a sudden something's coming. 2 years. Steve's saying 2 years.
Wow.
It's been. So okay, so his shows up damaged. Let's say his shows up damaged, his Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not going to replace it because it's after 30 days of purchase. It took them 2 years to get a delivery. Like, how is that right?
Yeah, that's insane that they said that. That can't be right because
I'll show you the email.
Yeah, but like that person has to not know. Like that's a little maybe he meant to say like upon delivery.
Nope, it said from the day of purchase.
Wow. That's just so crazy. That doesn't make any sense. Like that.
It does not make sense. That's why I
bad.
had my head scratched, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, I'm hoping this guy is wrong. For one, I'm hoping he was a typo because I don't understand that logic because if it, like I said, how am I supposed to control anything like that? All right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to break up a little bit of monotony, and then we're going to get back into our what's missing from today's collecting. And I know something that is missing from today's collecting, and that is Brandy attempting to win another session of trivia.
Oh no, trivia!
Oh yes.
I thought this was a one-time thing.
Oh
I didn't know we were
no.
going to be doing this
She was
again.
bragging
Guys,
all
I'm
week
not
how
ready.
she beat the chat room, and I was like, well, we got to give them a chance to win back. And so
No, I'm not ready.
I
don't
searched.
like this game.
I searched long and hard, wide and deep, the most toughest questions that I possibly could find out on the web,
Why?
and using ChatGPT to be able to bring you some questions that we can stump Brandy. How many of you
No.
guys in the chat room are in? Give me a thumbs up or a 1. Give me a 1 if you're all for this. If you think you guys can beat Brandy, I think you guys got it in you this week. She's already shaking. See, she didn't know this was coming. I caught her off guard.
I think this should be like, people help me. Like, I should be able to phone a friend. Like, this is not.
You have
the
to
game
have
show.
friends to phone a friend.
Really?
Oh! Steve also says he also R-Type 3 collectors have been moved to something. I can't see that. It says instruction books are missing. Dude's got a lot of stuff missing. That's not cool. All right, we got a lot of ones coming in the chat room here. It looks like they are ready to annihilate you.
I'm not ready for this.
Well,
Well, if I lose, then I lose. Okay, I'll just accept defeat.
you will accept defeat.
Yeah. This
All
might be
right.
one of those weeks that I lose.
All right. Well, let's go with the first question. Question number 1. Long before Resident Evil popularized the term survival horror, Capcom released a Japan-only NES game back in 1989 that served as its digital spiritual predecessor, featuring a mansion setting, puzzle solving, and permadeath. What was the title of this game?
So that's like a Famicom game.
Nope, NES.
Okay. So Japan only NES game. So that's Famicom? Or would it be on the NES?
You come on, you gotta tell me. She's like sitting here trying to Google really quick.
Well, it looks like the chat already has it. It definitely is not Clock Tower. It has to be. I would.
What's
guess
your guess?
Because I
Because
don't even know what that is.
you have 2 in here. I'll give you.
Someone-
It's either Clock Tower or Sweet Home. I'll give you that much.
But I don't know what that is.
All right.
Because it can't be Clock Tower.
Jason
I'm thinking it has
Bishop.
to be Sweet Home, 'cause they were
Jason
quick.
Bishop for the chat room is going to get this.
What's the game look like?
It
Do you
is
know
Sweet
more?
Home, and it's based on a Japanese horror film of the same name, Sweet Home, which was directed by Tokaru Fujiwara, who later produced the original Resident Evil. Many iconic elements of Resident Evil, including the isolated mansion, the puzzle mechanics, and the limited inventory slots, and even the famous door-opening loading animations, were directly lifted from Sweet Home. Good job, Jason! Jason from Retro Gaming Asylum. So
That's awesome.
he was the
I
first one to
didn't
put it
know.
in the chat room. So chat room's up 1.
I didn't know, but
0.
I knew that had to be the answer because I know.
But I'll tell you,
Clock Tower.
Master Games Guru with Clock Tower, that was a good second guess.
Yeah.
That was a really, really, really good. But I can't tell. Daryl's like, it is a Famicom, but I can't tell her that. That just kind of like narrows it down, right? All right.
I knew it was Famicom. I just didn't know. I'm not well versed on the Famicom games.
That's why Jason got it. All right. In 1999, Nintendo released Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64, and you better get this one right. However, the game began development as a prototype called Dragon King, the fighting game, and didn't originally feature Nintendo characters. Who was the creator who designed this prototype, and why did he decide to add Nintendo characters? I told you these were going to be tough.
This is tough. Like, I don't even know people. Like, Miyamoto. I don't know.
Well, let's see if the
tell you.
chat room can get it.
They're too long. I'm still trying to read the first sentence.
You're trying to read. This is Nintendo 64. This is your wheelhouse. This is like.
This is rough.
This is a tough one. You better get Googling.
Like, okay, Nintendo released that for the. I'm like still trying to process this.
They released the Super
Dragon
Smash Brothers,
King
but
20.
it was based off the development of a prototype called Dragon King. The chat room went quiet. This is like the first time I don't see answers
Like,
being
I don't know
spit out.
who the creator was. I
Kevin
couldn't
says Sonic the Hedgehog. Not quite. Okay, so Daryl's giving you a good hint. He says, I'll give you a hint. It's the guy who created Kirby.
Oh, gosh.
All right, and Jason says Iwata in the chat room. So we got to get Brandy's guess.
I don't know.
Is that your final answer? You don't know?
Oh, man.
Okay, if Jason's right, they're going to go up 2-0.
I guess they're going to go up.
All right.
This is looking pretty bad. I don't know these people.
And DG comes in and gets it at the last second. DG got it for the chat room. Jason was close, but DG got it.
Okay.
I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce his name, but
I
initially
don't know
he
how to
created
pronounce
Dragon King as a balanced, focused 4-player fighting game using the low polygon generic character models.
Can we do easy ones?
Next week I'll look for some easy ones for you.
This is too difficult for me.
Are you man? Do you hear this? She's whining already. So
It's like a whole paragraph long. I haven't read that much.
the
since
chat
school.
room. Oh, here comes the excuses now that the chat room is up 2-0.
There's a lot of reading. It's a lot of
All right,
reading.
then you should know this. This is your generation. Question.
Oh.
In 2005, a glitch in World of Warcraft caused an unintended virtual pandemic that infected millions of players' characters, shutting down entire in-game cities. Epidemiologists and counterterrorism researchers actually studied the event to model real-world human behavior during an outbreak. What was the name of the debuff disease that caused this? The look on her face says it all, folks. The look on her face says it all.
Is it
This is
one
college
word,
level?
two
Oh,
words?
come on.
Blink twice. One word, 2 words.
Guys, is this too tough for you guys? Do I need to go back and get a little bit easier ones? I did ask.
Yeah.
I did try to get tough ones, though. I did. Because you guys were guessing them too quick last week. Man, everybody's saying these are college level. There's got to be some smart people out there.
I don't know. It had to be like some type of.
DG saying, I can't believe you didn't get that one.
Wow.
That's what I've been saying.
All right, that sounds good then. Corrupted blood, whatever
Corrupt
they're saying.
blood?
That sounds like the right answer. Corrupted blood.
I'll be honest, I don't even know
That's
what
what it
this
sounds
is
like.
because I didn't really play World of Warcraft. DG is also
Yeah,
saying
I could've
corrupt
phoned
blood.
My brother, he would have known this.
Yeah.
I agree with them.
So
They're
it is
right.
corrupt blood. They are both right. Chat room goes up 3-0.
What's the point of playing?
The corrupt blood. The outbreak began when the Zugru-Rub's raid zone was introduced. The final
See,
boss.
if you can't pronounce the word,
Dude, I don't know World of Warcraft. I just was trying to find hard stuff, okay?
Mhm.
Let's go with this one. This one's an easier one. While almost every gamer knows the standard Konami code, up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, inputting it into Super Nintendo Classic Gradius 3 will actually cause your ship to instantly explode. What modified button sequence do you have to press instead to get your power-up safely? Now, this is an easy one. You should know this one.
Does it have to be reversed? I don't know.
You
Oh,
don't know
man.
this one?
No.
You do know what the Konami code is, right? Like we
Yeah,
used
I
it in
know.
Contra
Yeah.
and everything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You scared me there for a second.
But like, I'm not the best at that game on the Super Nintendo. That's one that I kind of.
All right, chat room. We need your help on this one. Or she needs your help on this one. At least this isn't
Yo, what color is Super Mario's hat? Red.
well, it depends. That's a trick question because when he's Fire Flower Mario, it's
Here we
white.
go.
When he's Frog Mario, it's green.
Oh my gosh. When he's a cat, it's yellow.
The Konami code. All right. So here we go. Yeah, that's right. It is yellow. The answer: swap left and right for L and R shoulder buttons. Okay. And Gradius is Super Nintendo, Gradius 3 for Super Nintendo. Entering the traditional code acts as a anti-cheat trap that destroys the player. To safely receive the full set of power-ups, you must input up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. But you have to use those bumpers. She's still confused.
Yeah,
I
like
thought
Kevin
she was going to
said,
get that
I
one.
don't use cheat codes. Exactly.
All right, Final Fantasy fans out there. I don't know the answer to this one because I am not a Final Fantasy fan. But
All right, DG, help me out here.
in the original 1997 PlayStation, yeah, she should be able to get this because she's the PlayStation girl, of release of Final Fantasy VII, a famous translation error occurs during the battle with which the biokinetic boss, Airbuster, when giving tactical advice on how to attack it from both sides. What grammatically mangled phrase is displayed? Wow. So, Final Fantasy, folks. You don't know what the answer is either? Dang, I gotta tone it down. I thought by going hard, I thought she would. Well, I did stump her. That was a good thing.
Well, it was short-lived, guys.
They're googling quick. That's what's taking. That's why we're not seeing guesses. They're googling.
Next time I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna cheat.
You should just keep ChatGPT open and just like let it listen to me, and then once it listens to me, it'll say the answer to this question is.
I should. I'm gonna do that.
You should do it.
I'm gonna win. Okay, we're gonna have a redemption.
Oh, let's see. All right, so the answer to this question is attack while there's no defense in the backside.
In the backside.
In the backside. Apparently, that's that was one of the questions. That was one of them. So that concludes this week's trivia. I know you're bummed because.
Can I just say, guys, was this fair? He couldn't even pronounce half the words. It said Japanese NES or Japanese Nintendo, which is obviously Famicom.
Is it obvious? Maybe I did it as trickery.
I don't like these questions. I felt like this was a setup, and are you guys on my side or his side? Were these questions too
I'm not
hard?
gonna lie, it was a setup.
This was fair.
It was a setup because she was getting a little bit too big for her britches when she was last week going, I beat the chat room. I beat the chat room.
Rude.
So we had to bring her back down to earth a little bit. All right, so next time I will find a little bit more of like 5th grader level. Is that fair?
Like first, second grade.
Oh, first or second. Oh, okay. Well, I could do that.
It would be easy. Like DG saying, my brain. I mean, that is hard. It hurts my head. This is supposed to be a relaxing time.
See,
we're supposed to have a good time. We're supposed to feel good. People are supposed to get some pizza.
I was feeling good. I was feeling good that you weren't getting any of the answers. And even Daryl's calling you cheaters.
This is just not fair.
Mm. I hear a lot of crying. Hey, Daryl, you might have to bring some, if you end up coming down to Stone Age, you're going to have to bring some tissues with you.
I'll take some.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. They were really hard. When I first read them, I'm like, ooh. But I figured there was some people in the chat room that would get some. Yeah. I honestly thought you were going to get the Super Nintendo one. I really did. I thought you were going to get that one.
I don't cheat.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Like those mathematical. If it leaves at a certain time.
A train is on track to come to the station at 3:25 p.m. Mike arrived at the station at 3:13. What color was the train on Sunday? That's exactly it. I remember those questions.
So what's the answer?
Blue. I don't know. Am I right? Was it blue? It's like you need a little bit more information. Just like a little slither more, like, you know, on Wednesdays we wear pink. Like, just something was going on.
All right. Well, it is what it is. I'll try to find some easier ones next time for you guys. I don't want it to be too tough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look, you're just grinning over there. You're living.
I am. I got a kick out of that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was hilarious.
All right. Can I say this?
You can say whatever you want.
If we do any giveaways, hint hint.
Yeah.
in some upcoming weekends. Hint, hint. These questions will not be this hard. Can I just make that promise? They will not be this hard.
Well, says you. They might be that hard.
I will give answers then, okay? I will help people because
Okay.
that is just not fair.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So, anyways, before we get back into our topic, you guys all know that I've been building those Game Boy kiosks. Well, I actually embarked, Brandy, into a new kiosk.
Oh, here we go.
You saw the one that I did, right, for the Game Boy Color. It looks like
Yeah.
a little lamp, right? So now I've actually embarked into making the Game Boy Advanced kiosk,
Nice.
which
I like
is
that.
there.
I like the colors.
Yeah, I decided to do the purple. I had a little issue with while we were actually talking, the filament must have snapped because it was printing air. So I went and stopped the printer. I'll get it going afterwards. But yeah, that one looks pretty cool. So I'm almost done. I'm building the sled for the Game Boy SP, the flip up. For those that don't know, it's like the flip phone version, if you will. I'm gonna make that and then put that in there, and then put it all together. It'll be a cool piece to put on there. Daryl actually has one of my other Game Boy kiosks. I've got one here actually for Brandy when she comes out. So this weekend
Whoa.
I have hers here, and then she's gonna be putting the labels on it because she's OCD. But this is the original Game Boy kiosk. So I've got that printed out and ready to go. And then we've got the one for Stone Age Gamer. We're going to take the one down to them. And then I also have the other version that I did. If you guys didn't see it, you can always see it on my Instagram. I'd encourage you. I've been putting them, and I've been doing shorts with those, Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
The 3D print, just trying to figure out, what cool things. Oh, here we go. I can pull it up this way. What cool things to make. There you go. There's the Game Boy Color kiosk. I got to find a lamp or light to stick inside of the top piece.
Cool.
So I made the stairs for my Game Boy games and stuff. So I thought that would be cool. And that's why I've been 3D printing stuff, because Brandy, it is so hard to collect these days. It's so tough. We can't find anything. It's not like you where you can just walk out and get a kiosk. When we were talking about me printing these kiosks, how much did you pay for your Game Boy Advance kiosk?
The Game Boy Advance I think was like $200 and some dollars. The other
wait. What does it go for nowadays?
I mean, I've been offered like almost $1,000 for some of them. I've been offered over $1,000 for my Game Boy Color kiosk, and I think I only paid like $400 or something for that. But it was bundled with some other displays, like a Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem GameCube standee, like little one with the original shipping box that it has. And then I got the Game Boy Color, and then I got something else. I think I paid like $450 for all of those items. It was like 3 items together.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so nowadays you're not going to find that. And so that's what makes it tough. So what are people resorting to do? They're building replicas like I am for your game room, because you're not going to find this stuff.
Yeah, but they look
not
cool.
the same.
And they look pretty close too. Like when you were showing me some of the ones that you were making and stuff too, like changing the different colors and stuff. I like that. I like how it looks. It looked very, very close to exactly what I have. It's a pretty cool idea to do that. Because not all of us are, hardcore kiosk collectors in the chat here. I know the Germ is. I know Chase. I know quite a few of us.
The DMG one that you have, is that the one with the screen? Because I was going to print that one next. I was going to test that one. There's it kind of looks like this kiosk, except it has, because this is a DMG as well, the one that I did for Brandy. But there's also a part that has a screen that comes up off the top of it, and it has these red and blue that go all the way around. And so whatever you're playing on the game. So there's 2 different versions of that kiosk that like I said, I'm going to attempt to print.
Yeah, there's also a big Game Boy kiosk.
Yes, that really big one.
That one's huge, and my buddy had it.
No way.
He's the one that I actually got quite a few of my standees and kiosks and stuff from. He also had a Pokemon Stadium Blockbuster one. He had one of those. I was gonna buy it from him, but he ended up selling it to another buddy of ours. And then he had the big Pikachu statue, and I don't know if his was the one that was sold to Leon Hart or however you say his name. I think he sold his big Pikachu statue to him. And then he also had the big Game Boy. I thought that was really cool. I got my Nintendo 64 light up sign. The very first like display piece that I got was that, and it was from him. And then I started buying a lot of his items because he was local to me. And then he would like kind of work like if it was very expensive, he would be like, "Oh, you can give me a little bit here, a little bit there, and then eventually, it could be yours." Like, and that's how it was. And now looking back, it's like they really weren't that expensive considered like at that time, but like he was just very nice and helpful, and I got the stuff for my collection.
So if you're starting to collect today, I mean, Brandy, that's got to be disheartening for people. I know it's kind of disheartening for me as somebody that's really hardcore collected consoles for the last almost 10 years. I got out of it when I went to college and got out of school, and I didn't get back into it till I had my own house and had a place to put this stuff, and got away from the arcades. I did that for quite a bit. What's your advice to people, since you have the ultimate collection that everybody wants? What you just finished the Nintendo 64 worldwide set.
Yeah, the games.
I'm the type of person, like, I could have had the full NES set by now, but part of me is like, I want to find some of this stuff in the wild, and I think the days of doing that are over. Like, if you remember the Game Chasers, they found little Samson on a shelf for like $5. Does this discourage new collectors? Is this something that, like, what advice would you have for people at this point in this moment in time for collecting?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does discourage them because obviously when I post some of these videos, the intention is not to be like, "Hey, look at me, I'm braggy." That's never my intent. It's just excitement. This is years in the making. I wasn't born of money. I don't have money like that. It may appear to be so. But a lot of things I patiently waited for. I worked deals out. I had people like connections and stuff that I was able to get the stuff from. But if you're going to be starting nowadays, it's like you do have to be a little bit patient in the sense where you don't just buy the first thing that you see because you're so excited for it and you overpay. You have to do research, make connections, look at all the different sites. You have to spend your time looking up things because knowledge is essentially money. Like, the more you know, the better you'll be. And you also have to have a little bit of luck. I mean, I'm not going to say that like all mine's hard work. Like, a lot of it is in the right place at the right time. Like, remember like 2 years ago or something, the guy, he posted a Nintendo Wii kiosk. He was 15 minutes from my house, straight shot. I only had to turn down like 2 roads.
I bet he wouldn't ship it either, would he?
Well, no, he wouldn't have shipped it. And he posted it for $300. And this is where a little bit of luck comes in, okay? He said, you were like you weren't the first person, but you were like the second or third person to reply to the posting. But I immediately recognized your name because I watched your content. And he said in the other 2 profiles, they were resellers. Like, they had a lot of things posted for sale on their pages. So he said that I picked you because I wanted it to go to another collector who wasn't going to sell the Wii kiosk for $300, like sell it for more. And he was like, I also have some more stuff I think you're interested in. So I was like, well, what else do you have? And then he's like, you see that black curtain over there in my garage? And he yanks this black curtain off. And it's the KB Toys Nintendo 64 converted to a GameCube store display cabinet. And he was like, I paid like $400 back in the day from a buddy who I worked with at KB Toys. And he's like, if you want it, I'll sell it to you for $500 and I'll deliver it to your house for you. And all you have to do is show me your game room And don't worry, I'm not crazy. I'm moving. So that's why all this stuff has to go, because I'm moving across the country. And, I got lucky on that, but I did find the deal, and it was on Facebook Marketplace, and I had seen it at the right place at the right time. I had done the work, to like keep looking and refreshing and all that. And there are still deals like that. I do see them. It's just I don't always feel like going that far, driving, or, certain things, or I can't make it because I'm working or something. Like, some people do get lucky like that. You just have to stay patient and stay at it,
Yeah.
because you never know. Like, there could be things, but they might be 5-hour driving distance. Are you willing to take that drive to pick up one of the rarest kiosks out there, or the rarest items?
5-hour drive, maybe, but I don't know. That's still a hike.
Yeah.
I mean, for a kiosk, maybe. But
Yeah.
your
It just
average,
depends on the deal.
well, I was gonna say, is your average collector though? They're not wanting that stuff. Your average collector, these guys, they're just starting out. They're looking for like games and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you heard me complain, and I was like, yeah, you go out to like all these places and you go out to Goodwills and stuff, you're not finding games, and you and other people are like going out and they're able to find this stuff. In my area, like, you can't find it. Like, take for instance the whole Game Boy sale, or yeah, the Game Boy GameStop sale that just happened. I told you I couldn't find. I was lucky to get 2 games that I really wanted on sale. Everything else, there was nothing. Like, there was none on sale, and it wasn't that they sold out, that everybody ran out to get it. There was nothing. So what would you tell people? Like, how would you get somebody to start out collecting?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to do your research and see their local game stores near you. Are there conventions? We're going to Korg's. I've seen some of the craziest deals there. I got some standees and some like crazy things for just $20 and $25 and stuff there. And they go for thousands or hundreds of dollars. I've been offered a lot of money, but I don't, want to sell them. But it's like, you have to look and see what events, what stores, and then start networking with these people. Go introduce yourself at the store and be like, hey, I'm looking to get into collecting. What's some advice that you have? And, maybe the store will be like, yeah, I think you should start out with this system. We get them in all the time, and we actually have a few that we can, hook you up with or whatever, and give you a good deal if you bundle some games. And, then that way you get them warranted, and you start to like learn about that stuff. And then you look at like auctions and eBay and things. But once again, you got to know the difference between fake games and real games, because there's a lot of people selling reproduction stuff. And if you're new and you don't know, you don't want to get taken advantage of in that sense. You go to conventions, you get to experience, see the culture, talk with people at tables, vendors, booths. And then sometimes people do really good deals at conventions. Obviously, we've seen some tables that have things overpriced, but a lot of times people are willing to work some deals if you bundle, if you pay cash, if it's on the second day or the third day of the convention, because they don't want to bring it back. So it's just something you got to figure out what you're really into. Don't collect all of it. Find one thing or a couple things, and then just start casually going into it. And the deals will come, and the connections will come. And then join the Facebook groups, watch YouTube, watch other collectors, creators, people playing games, and see what you really, really want. And then you go from there. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm curious. I'm also curious because it's not the same as it used to be. You used to be able to just go out anywhere, you could find anything. Are you seeing more of, how do I put this? I don't want to say retro, but are you finding more disc-based retro now than, say, 5 years or even 10 years ago when you're collecting, when you were out hunting? Or are you finding pretty much equal when you go out?
Yeah, I mean, I used to see a lot more cartridge-based stuff, and I would see a lot better deals on that. But like nowadays, like, so I go for some full sets here.
No.
One that I'm picking up again on, because I only have like 100 and some left, is the Super Nintendo.
I thought you
And
did
what
that
I
already.
No, I didn't finish it. Like,
Oh, okay.
I'm still actively I just kind of bebop to the
Okay.
N64 Japanese, and then I bebop back, and then I go to Nintendo and then GameCube, and then I come back. But here's the reason why. When I go to conventions or game stores or things like that, it's the same Super Nintendo games. I'm not seeing every game.
Yeah.
So then I can't make a video and I can't find the games that I want to play. So then I'm like, okay, there are no Super Nintendo games that I need here. Let me hurry up. Let me go to the Nintendo Entertainment System because I can't find the Super Nintendo games. So then I collect for the NES because there's still a ton of games that I need and I want to play. And then the GameCube, like if I can't find any good condition or like cheap enough Nintendo games, then I'm like, all right, there's a couple GameCube ones here. Let me focus on that. So I am kind of noticing that where a lot of stores have the same inventory. They're not getting like these obscure or uncommon to rare items. And I'm definitely, seeing something different. Like I remember going to yard sales back in the day and finding cartridge stuff, and people didn't realize, the cost of things. Like now the internet's so easy, anyone can see what their stuff is valued
Right.
at. But back then, people were just throwing stuff on a lawn, and they were putting $1 or $2 on the games, and they might have been $20 games, $40 games, nothing crazy. But like you would get really good deals, and then you could, collect that. Now it's a lot of disc-based items. So
Well, I was gonna say, I'm glad you brought that up because I think more and more that the internet has changed the way people collect because people are able to find out what the value is of these games. Where, as you stated, people would just go to I remember getting Atari games at a garage sale, 2,600 games for like 10 cents to a quarter a piece, and they were even games that were by today's standards worth like 20, 30 bucks. Like I've had to resort. I'm glad you brought up about building relationships and things like that. I've actually had to resort to I'm friends with different owners of game stores, and they'll reach out to me like my buddy Mike did to me today. He reached out to me because obviously he knows I'm going for the complete North American NES set. And again, I want to find this stuff in the wild. And he says to me, hey, do you have this game? And I was like, no, I don't have this one. This is another one that's really hard to find.
Yeah, it looks clean too.
It's very clean. And he's giving me a deal on it. He's not, I'm not paying what the value is of it, but he got it in on a trade. And anytime he gets NES games, I'm the first one he calls. He knows I'm going to buy it. He knows the same way with Nintendo Power. I've been getting Nintendo Powers from him. Remember, Brandy, I said I'm embarking now on the journey to collect all the Nintendo Powers, and I've been bagging them and putting the cardboard behind them.
Yeah.
But this is how I've resorted to collecting today, because like even Jason Bishop was in here from Retro Gaming Asylum. Like for a while, he was even contacting me like, "Hey, I have this. Do you need this?" And so other people, Daryl, he'll do that in the chat room. Like that's how I'm finding stuff in the wild. Like, yeah, could I go on Facebook Marketplace and meet somebody that has a game? Because obviously they ain't shipping it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're not gonna
ship it.
You're gonna try to ship it. Yeah.
I could, but all joking aside, I could go on eBay and risk getting a fake game. Okay, I could do all that stuff. But part of me, Brandy, is like I want to walk into a pawn shop and I want to see somebody that got an NES slot, like the pawn shop, and I go in and I find, Panic Restaurant or something like that. Not because, and I know what the haters are going to do. They're going to come in the comments and they're going to be like, "Oh, he just wants to be able to get it for like $10. He doesn't want to get it for like the $700." First of all, I don't know why that game's worth $700 or $800, except that it's rarity. It doesn't have as many, games out there in the wild. But my point is, I don't know. There's something about how fun would it be, Brandy, if you went out game hunting, you went to a yard sale and somebody had a stadium events and it was a real stadium events and it was there. They had it for $5 and you could pick it up. I can't even imagine. I think you'd be afraid to film it because your excitement would overwhelm you. You'd have to leave, pay for it, know that you own it, walk away, and be like, oh my gosh, guys, you know what I just found at this yard sale?
Yeah. See, but then, like, here's that, like, weird thing that I have. So something like this did happen to me. It wasn't stadium events, but it was still, like, crazy. I was at Too Many Games, the convention. And I get a text message from someone. Now, mind you, there was like a lot of things that happened at that convention. And someone messaged me and said, hey, I just found this. And like, I kind of knew the guy because I bought something from him before. I bought a kiosk, a kid space one, like the ones that were made for like McDonald's and doctor's offices.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got it for like $75 and it came with the Xbox. Like, crazy deal, like amazing deal. And he didn't want it because it was big and bulky. He knew it was worth more. He wanted to let it go cheap. So he messaged me and I see this World of Nintendo fiber optic sign.
Oh no.
And I was like, is this guy messing with me? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, I don't really know him like that. And he's like, yeah, I found it in a barn today. Are you interested in it? And I was like, I gotta leave this convention now and I gotta start booking it to this guy. Now, mind you, I had spent money at the convention.
How close was he to the convention?
He was like over an hour away because he
Oh,
was
man.
closer to my house.
Oh man.
So the whole way I'm like, oh no, he's gonna sell it. He's gonna whatever. He's gonna see how much this thing's worth. Like, I don't even know what it's worth. I only have like, I think I had like barely $100 cash on me at that time because I just came from the convention. So I go to the address that he sends me to, and of course it's like the house is there. There's like some trailers, and there's like this burn barrel, and it's sitting on top of the burn barrel. And I'm like, I can't believe this. This is the wildest thing I've ever seen. He plugs it in and it works. And he goes, yeah, I was thinking like $100 for it. And I was like I had $100 on me. And I was like, no. Let me give you a little bit more for it. So I went to the ATM and the ATM only took out a couple $100. It was like at a gas station. It was like, we were in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So I took out a couple $100 more. And then I came back to the guy and I paid him. And I think it was like $600 or something, whatever it was. Like, I just gave him the money. And he was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, this is going towards rent or my bills or whatever it was. And he was like, you don't know how much this means to me. I'm so glad that this is going to you, yada, yada, yada.
So you gave him $600 for this thing?
Yeah, like a couple $100. It was like $450 or $600 or something around that price. Like, I gave him whatever the ATM would let me take out.
Wow.
I just gave it to him because I felt bad. Now, at the time, I thought this sign was only worth like $1,500. So I was like, that seems fair. Like, that's kind of like half or so, of it. Like, I felt like it was a good deal. Like, I'll give him some money.
Yeah.
I still get it for less than retail. And then of course I come home, I film a video. I'm so pumped about it. I post it online and people are telling me it's worth like $4,000 at the time or $5,000 or something. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, that's crazy. Like, I couldn't afford $5,000 to like pay for that. Cause like I have bills and stuff too. Like, that, it was just wild, but I didn't want to just give him $100. So my point is, if I saw stadium events, now I don't have $20,000.
No.
But like, part of me would be like, do I give them a couple $1,000s for it? Do I tell them that it's worth a lot of money and hope that maybe they'd still let me get a chance to buy it? Or do I buy it and then feel guilty about it? Like...
Well, maybe I can help change your mind on this because this just happened to me in the last 24 hours. There was a guy on Facebook, and he was selling. Let me see. Oh, he sold it already, but I'm gonna pull it up here on my phone so you guys know this is legit. I'm not making this up. So this guy was selling the arcade 1-up Star Wars with the bench.
Yeah.
Okay, he sold it pretty quick. Okay. Before I show you more on this, he was selling the sit-down Star Wars arcade 1-up for $250. Now
Yeah,
you
there's
got
like a lot,
like
right?
you guys are sitting there going, well, it's an arcade 1-up, it's 3/4 scale. This machine, if you go look right on now on eBay or any other place, are going anywhere for $1,000 to $2,000 because it's one of the most rare arcade 1-ups that are out there. I have it actually. I have one over there. The PCBs, if yours breaks, unless you get it from Arcade 1-Up or whoever owns them now, is like $300 to buy the PCB.
Mm-hmm.
It had such a low run. So I messaged the guy and I'm like, he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm getting a lot of people asking for it. I'm like, yeah, because it's worth almost $1,000. And he was like, no, I bought it for $599. I said, yes, but it's rare. It's worth $1,000. I said, you're asking too little for this. It's $250. That's what you're asking for it. I'm like, he's like, yeah, my inbox is blown up. People wanting this thing. I'm like, because you can't get it for $250. I said, everywhere you look, people are selling this for $1,000 to $2,000. And he's like, well, the exchange only offered me $200 for it. I'm like, because they don't want you to know it's worth money because they're going to take it and flip it for 3 times that. He goes, well, I appreciate it, but he said, I'm just going to go. And he says, I just want this thing out of here. So he says, I'm only going to take $250. He said, let somebody else be happy. He's right here. I want you to see this. He says, yeah, to be honest with you, I'm just trying to get rid of it. Just trying to make a quick profit. Let somebody else benefit. I got it in an auction. I'll make somebody else happy. And I said, okay, fair enough. I just wanted to reach out as when I hate people getting taken advantage of. And as long as you're cool with it, that's all that matters. And that's what I sent to him. And I think, honestly, like with what you just said, if somebody put it in there, I don't think they'd even, because they wouldn't know how to go about getting the money for that stadium events. You're not just going to go to an exchange and sell that game and get $10,000 or $20,000 for that game.
Plus, at the same time,
you have to find a collector.
Everyone has a smartphone, and they should be doing their due diligence and looking up the prices.
Correct.
Like, there's really no excuse for people to not know how to find how much something is. But, like, at the same time, I always, like, certain things are, like, life-changing money. So, like, just think if you weren't a collector, and you were an older person, and you were on a fixed income, and you didn't have all kinds of money, and you had all these medical bills piling up, and you were outside, and you had, like, a yard sale or something, and you were posting stadium event, like, just think about how, impactful that money would be to that person. I guess people don't ever think like that.
No, I think
both sides.
I think we're a short breed because I do think that, like, I've already been at conventions and I've gotten stuff sold to me and it was by a con. He knew what it was worth, but he knew how bad I wanted it. That he knew it was going to a good home, and I think there's something to that too. I think a lot of resellers and vendors, when they know you and they know like what you're trying to buy from them or what you're going to be able to get from them is going to go to a good home, and that how much you really want that.
Yeah.
I think part of them is just like, I really want this to go to a good home. I don't want this to be going somewhere where it's going to get destroyed. I want it something that's somebody's going to take really good care of it. Like, I think a lot of these vendors and such, they get attached to some of these pieces that they find.
Yeah, that's me. I get attached to everything that
you get attached to everything. You're a different breed.
Like, it literally just like walks in and finds its home, and then I'm like, oh, look how cool this is. Like, really attached to this pillow at the moment because it is super comfortable. But it's like like that's just like a cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pillow. But like, no, but for real, like some of these items, it's like I don't want I don't want them to just leave no matter how much money I could get for them because I'm attached. I like them. I like the memories. I like the game. I like the item. I like the story behind it, the history of it, It's
hard to collect this day and age, but thankfully we can talk about some of our collection and what we're playing right now. Let's take a look.
Hi, this is William Jackson from Millennium Flashbacks. You're watching the Game Masters on YouTube.
All right, we have here. What do we have here? Silent Hill. This is an old video. I don't know why I'm even showing this. This is not what I'm playing. Hang on a second. Where'd my games go? I loaded them in. Oh, I see what you did here. Hang on a second. Brandy, why were you messing with my TriCaster again?
I did. I snuck over there.
Why
real
did
quick.
you do that? Hang on a second. This is what you sent. Why did you do that? I'm not playing. I haven't. Man, if Reggie was here right now, he'd be giving me crap. He'd be like, "Steven, you just talked about that last week." But he's
Mario
in the digital.
Tennis.
Yeah, Mario Tennis. He's in the digital, so we're not even going to talk about that. Anyways, all right.
And yeah,
Here it is. Here's the right video.
So here's my new game that was already open from GameStop.
Oh, it's one of those new used. It's kind of like a new used car. Gotcha.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. I like it because, of course, you have to play all of these fantastic games. I'm going through a couple of them that I didn't really realize. There is the Punisher in here. There's just been so many games that I haven't played in ages, it feels like. So I've just been trying to go through a little bit.
This was one I tried to get from GameStop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got apparently the floor model that's new, and they just put a sticker seal on it, and it's good as new, right?
They gave it to you.
How that works. So.
Yep. But still, that's a cool pickup. I mean, you probably got a lot of them
for the price, and it wasn't bad because I like those collection games where it has multiple in one. That's their arcade collection. So, you have Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Punisher. There's so many great ones on there. I'm just, of course, playing through some of my favorites.
Well, Reggie's not here tonight for some reason, so you can take over for him. All right. So what I've been playing this week, and I'm almost beaten this game. I think I've got about an hour left in the game, and I'm going to have it beaten. So I'm on the mission, World 5, and there's 2 levels in each world, in the last world. So I've already put Joker in jail, and so this has a really good story. If you've not played Lego games in a while, and you want to play a Lego game that is awesome, this is probably the best Lego game I've played in a long time. You need to go out and get this Batman game. I got it for the PS5, and I got the Day 1 edition, Legacy of the Dark Knight. Definitely a game you should pick up. I went as far, Brandy, and I didn't have the collector's edition or whatever, the $89 one that they have, the additionals. I bought it for the other $25, the content pack, because there's going to be more levels that are going to come out, I guess, in September for this.
That's cool.
This is a really cool game. This is probably, out of all the games I've played so far this year, next to Resident Evil Requiem, this game has sucked me in more than anything. I couldn't wait to play it again. I couldn't wait to get. I played it for so long, and I was like, okay, I got to go to bed. The next day, I was like, dude, I got to play Batman. I got on it, and I played it. Next thing you know, 5 hours go by, and I was playing it. So this is definitely one of those games. Another game, because I got 2 of them that I'm playing right now. So, big surprise here. I got 2 of them here.
You actually play games?
Yeah, I know. So this game here is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. This is one, it's a weird game. It is very, very, very weird. It's not like your traditional Mario game. It's like you're playing inside of a book, and there's no way that Yoshi can die. You can use different colored Yoshis to go in there, and the mechanics of it are a bit weird, as you're going to see here in the game, where you need some of these different items that he's chasing right now in order to jump higher or to do different things. And as he eats different things, he'll have an egg that'll appear behind him, which you'll see. And he can use those eggs to shoot at other enemies, and the eggs follow him, as you can see. It's weird. Even my wife will tell you it's weird. It's weirdly fun, if that makes sense, but it's not the way. It's very different. It's not the way I envisioned this game to be. Anything that you had in your mind of how you thought this game was going to be, just get it out of your mind. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't played this that long. I probably had less than an hour into it, and I haven't picked it up since. the day it came
Okay.
out. Batman just sucked me in so much more that I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Batman. I don't know what to think yet. My son likes it. I think he has it almost beat, and my wife likes it. So it might be a little bit to take, to get me to get into it, but I'm just not sold on it, and I'm not sure what to think about it. So, all right, let's get into what did we our pickups. So I played the wrong bumper at the wrong place, but that's okay. We will fix that in a hurry here. But what did you pick up this week? I won't roll the bumper. Do you have anything that you want to show?
Yes. So I have a couple games and then something else. So obviously a part of the GameStop sale, other than the collector's editions, which I already unboxed, I already, put them on shelves in the basement, so I didn't, bring them up. And then I do have some for you, so that'll probably be in like another video. But I did pick up these games. So RoboCop, Rogue City. We have this one, which is Unfinished Business. There is a first one, but this one's like a standalone, like extra bonus or whatever. That was a part of the sale. And I think because I got it, one of these I got in person and I got it a little cheaper than the $15. And then one of these was mailed to me or something like that. And then, of course, I got Alone in the Dark. I haven't played these yet, but I am looking forward to it. I think before I play RoboCop, Rogue City, Unfinished Business, I'm going to play like the first one or like the first part of it just to see. I've heard people say you could play either, however you go. But I do want to play Alone in the Dark at some point. I just know it's going to take a little bit of time. And then I bought this frame. So I found this in my bathtub.
In her bathtub!
I forgot about this poster, so I've been cleaning out the bathtub, guys. I'll have to show you the progress because you would think it's getting better, but it's not.
No, trust me, it's not. I've seen it.
Yeah,
she showed me the bathtub.
So this right here, I actually framed it because I just got the frame in. Look how cool this is.
Let me pull down the chat.
This is a Funtronics poster for the Sega Genesis, Sonic Spinball. This would have been...
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Collector series. This would have been a store display poster at Sears, the Funtronics section, where they had these games at.
Where are you going to put it?
Not in the bathtub.
Not in the bathtub.
I've been finding more wall space, surprisingly. I forgot I have like nooks and crannies and corners and behind kiosks and different things.
Retro AF says, didn't you stuff that in the bathtub?
This was in the bathtub. This was rolled up in the bathtub. So, I was digging things out of the bathtub and I had to find this like specific size frame. So I had to buy this frame here. But I just thought it was cool because I had forgotten about it and I needed a frame. So Target does like weird custom sized frames. They ship it through some other company. And I used the gift card and I think it was like $20 or something. Originally 30. I get it's like a lot. But they ship them pretty well. Like they're like padded in like the corners and stuff. And I've bought a couple frames now because I'm trying to get rid of the stuff in the bathtub, like meaning like not get rid of it, but get it out of the bathtub so that I can put more things in the bathtub so that I can put more things on the wall. You get that?
I told her she could offload some of the stuff at my house, but she's like, no, I'll just stuff it in the bathtub.
Yeah, I should start putting things on the ceiling. But this actually, I think, will fit in my little arcade room, like in the basement, because I have that whole Sonic and Sega display. I think there's a wall spot for it. I think I still have wall showing, like a visible section of the wall.
You better save some room because you're going to have some stuff that you're going home with. So you better make sure you have room for that.
Here we go. It's a good thing I'm clearing out the bathtub.
I'm telling you. You're going to put this stuff in the bathtub?
No.
Oh, speaking of which, before we get to my picks, about 3 years ago, I had given Brandy a Dragon's Lair cabinet from New Wave Toys.
Yeah.
Okay, because they had given them to me at Cleveland. Brandy had left. She had to get out. And then, so I had it, and I gave one to Retro Rob, and I gave one to Brandy. Brandy didn't open it for 3 years?
Yeah, it's been a couple years, and it was in the bathtub. I must have put it like at the ledge of the bathtub, and then when I put standees in there, it must have fallen, and then like.
So tell the story. So let me preface this. I get a FaceTime phone call from her, and she, like normally I'm the one like, hey, I got to show you this. This time it was like, okay, Brandy's FaceTime to something. She's like, did you see this? I'll let you pick up from there.
Yeah. So what had happened was, I didn't even text him and say, hey, you got a second to chat?
Nope.
I just literally was like, hey, I just called. And I was like, so remember that Dragon's Lair arcade that you gave me? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm finally opening it. I'm going to do like a short and a picture on it or whatever I'm going to do to like unbox it. I said, but I didn't think about anything. And it was in that original cardboard box that the boxes come in. There's like 3 boxes. So you have like the outer cardboard and it's sealed with tape. There's no markings on it. So I slice it open, and then this box is inside, and it's pretty much like a same like type of box. It's like a cardboard. It's like a little hard to see, but pretty much it's a cardboard box that says Dragon's Lair, and it says approved. It has a signature, and it has the date 11/30/2022. So I didn't really think much of it because I didn't notice that box color. Well, then I pull that open because the sticker seal on it is broken already. Like it looks like it was cut. So then I see this box, and at the top there, it also says approved. It has a signature and it has the same date. And that's the box that the item's in. Now, because it's so dark, I didn't see that like signed, approved, signature, whatever. What had got me was when I opened it up, I saw like the manual, like this like little sticker thing or something. It had like the little joysticks, like buttons on there. And it's a little hard to see. You could go to my Instagram and you could see it. But it's all signed and it says approved 11/30/22. Approved, approved, approved. Like everything has this marker on it. So then I started looking at the machine here. And this is what got me. So the side sticker on each of the cabinet, like on each side of the cabinet, it literally is written on with magic marker and says approved. And then on the machine, like the actual like front part, it says bezel approved. It has like a signature, it has a date. And then on the, like the control pad thing there, it says rejected. Like it says rejected right there at like the corner. I guess like the artwork or something, like maybe it's like off centered or something like that. And then it has this like sticker on the side that says like 2. So I know it's a little hard to see, but I sent him, the FaceTime chat, and we're talking, and I'm like, what do you think this means? Was this like something that was, like questioned or whatever? And then you were telling me that, you think it's like something, I feel like it has to do with something like before the original was released, before it was like finally set on. Maybe this was one that they had sent back and forth asking, what you think about this stuff. But who signed it?
Right. Like from Don Bluth Films. Don Bluth is now passed. But I'm in agreement with her. I wonder if they were sending this back and forth as they were developing this machine.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one, and it accidentally got put in with the final product. Yeah. And now she ended up with a very, very, very rare piece on her hand because
luck.
because
See?
there was no way for me to tell, because I was like, at first I didn't get it because she's like, it's all written on. I'm like, well, crap, man. Like, I didn't know it was all sealed up, and there was no way for me to know because the outer box was sealed.
Yeah, that one was sealed. The other ones were like, they were like cut, and you could tell that it was open.
Right.
So I was thinking maybe it was one that was on display at the convention or something. But the fact that it says rejected and then it says approved, 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 like every little thing, I was kind of wondering, like, this has to be maybe not like a prototype per se, but like one of the ones where they were trying to get the finishing touches on it. So it's like an early edition of it. It works, but the screen has magic marker across it. So it's kind of like unplayable in a sense. But I'm not mad because I think it's a cool piece of history. Like, I have one that could be one of one. Like, it could be, they could have sent
Well, it's
that
playable.
back.
You could hook it up to your
Yeah,
TV.
TV or something. But like in the sense of like the little, it's like a little hard to play. But I was just like, I'm not really mad about that because I think that's cool that, like, maybe when companies do that, like, they have to get approval on all the artwork. They have to get things signed off, copyrighted stuff. Maybe it was signed by someone who worked in-house with something and they were a part of, that team. And then this could have been the one that was, all right, we like everything but this. And then they fixed that. And then those are the ones that went out for sale. So, like, this is the like the before. Like, so I think it's cool. But I stumbled into it from the bathtub, from you, from 3 years ago.
That's the crazy part. It's just sat there for 3 freaking years, man.
I hope no one was looking for it.
I know we got to move on. We got our community question. Ted wrote in about the gameplay, or about collecting in this day.
Yeah.
I have some of the magazines that I picked up from my from my buddy. I got the Earthworm Jim one.
Nice. That one looks cool.
This is from December. This is volume 67. So I got that one, and they're all pretty good shape. I got the Ninja Gaiden 2 strategy guide.
That one's cool.
I got the 4-player extra Nintendo Power guide. That was a big thing back in the day, the 4 players. We can do 4 players, what?
Yeah.
This is one my brother had, the Game Atlas. So this was one that I definitely wanted. It's a little yellowed in places, but I couldn't pass up the deal.
Now, are you writing all these down and keeping notes of which ones you
No,
have?
that's something I got to do. But right now, I know by looking at them which ones I have, which ones I don't have, just because.
Well, you got to know for, like, the convention.
I know. I got to write them down before the convention. And then I got the Game Boy one.
Nice.
So these 5, I got all 5 of these for $60. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. I picked those up. The other one I do, they're all talking about James Bond in the chat room. I did pick up the James Bond. It comes tomorrow. Okay. I did pre-order that. My son and I, he'll be excited because we'll, pre-ordered that. I also picked up Neon Inferno.
Yeah, not from the eBay scalpers.
No,
right?
I got this right from
direct company.
No, I got this right from RetroWare.
Yep.
And I picked up a T-shirt from RetroWare too while I was at it. But
Nice.
This is cool. This is what I wanted to show. This is also from Limited Run Games, just so you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with a manual, something that you don't see often in a video game, and I wanted to point that out. I thought that was kind of a cool touch that these guys did in not only having the reverse artwork on the cover, but actually giving you a physical manual that shows you what the buttons do, the characters, and it's a full color manual. So shout out to RetroWare. That's a pretty cool addition. And then obviously, I know it's going to be hard to see, but you have a reverse cover for the Neon Inferno. So I can't wait for Toxic Crusaders from them and the Belmont's Quest, a Simon Quest or whatever it is. I always get it wrong, but it's kind of like a Castlevania spinoff. That game is one that I'm looking forward to getting. So those are my pickups this week, Brandy. I haven't really gotten anything besides that kind of stuff. So I know Daryl's been looking for me for some Nintendo powers as well, so he's been on the prowl. So what do you say we get to our
What are your thoughts?
That's a great question.
Well,
That's a great question. Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
Hey, Game Masters this week. Great topic. What's missing from our collecting habits these days than when we were younger? This is an attribute of physical cartridges and discs, but I miss the ability to go out and rent and try out a game or to swap with a friend. And you kind of do a trial run on what you want to play, what's fun, whether you like it. You may have something that you think is going to be fun, and you go and you try, and you're like, boy, that artwork or that preview or, my friend's taste is just too different from mine. But then you may grab something kind of like, well, it's the only thing on the shelf. It's Friday night, or your buddy's like, hey, I got this new thing, and you don't have anything that's been fresh, and you put it in and you try it, and all of a sudden something that you didn't know you would like, man, you love it. So eventually, I want to add it to my library permanently. So it's that ability to easily try new games at a low entry or free entry through trading or renting. That's something that I miss, because there's some games that I would have never discovered otherwise. So that is a repercussion of going to all digital. But I do miss that, and can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Brandy. Y'all have a great week. Game on, everybody. Love y'all, Game Masters. Take care.
It was SSX tricky. We were trying to figure out the game if it was SSX, one of the SSX, and it was SSX tricky, which is a good game.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun. Like that tricky. It's tricky.
Yep.
Like that song, it gets stuck in my head because I used to play that on the PlayStation 2. But I mean, absolutely right. The days of
Hollywood
being able to
Video,
rent games, all the Blockbuster for me, and then there was like a mom and pop store that I ended up getting VHS tapes from. Like, just all those memories. You could like bring games to your friends' houses. You could see which ones you wanted. I always wanted Fighting Force 64, and my neighbor had it, and we would play that game all the time. Just a ton of fun. And then as I got older, I was able to get that.
Let me ask you on Ted's synopsis about not being able to rent games anymore, and that was a way to you could figure out, you could go into a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video or anything like that. Or I remember our Giant Eagle used to have, I forget what it was called, but it was a video rental place, and you could go in and rent these. You could even play games. They had the kiosks there, right? Anymore, this sounds rare, but like Andy from Stone Age Gamer let me borrow Time Crisis 2 for the PS2 to be able to do this review that's going to be coming out for those gun games.
Wow.
And I had to stop and take that in. But you guys remember when you used to trade video games? Like you'd trade with a friend for 2 weeks till the next time you saw him, and you'd play the game because your parents weren't rich, man. So you only got games on birthday and Christmas, and he wanted to play a game that you had that you already beat, and you wanted to play the game that he had because you wanted a new game to play. So my question here, and maybe this is something as a topic to bring up in another game, do people still do that? Do you find a game in somebody's collection, like say Neon Inferno, and you're like, hey, I never played that game, can I borrow that and play it for a month and then bring it back to you? Do people still do that? I know I don't do that, but do people still do that?
I think that's a long time ago thing. I feel like nowadays people don't really talk that much, and they probably feel weird about that. You don't go asking to borrow certain things anymore unless you're family. Maybe family members maybe could do that. You want to borrow someone's sweater or jacket or something, shoes. I don't know. I feel like people are weirded out by stuff like that nowadays. It's different. right?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the chat room has to say because I know I don't do that. I've had it. I've had, like I said, this is the first time when Andy's like, "Oh yeah, you can borrow it." He's like, just it's a like obviously he knows I'm going to keep it nice on the shelf and he knows I'm not going to destroy it. But I was just curious with the way people are collecting. Is that something that you still do? And I know we got to wrap this up, but it just kind of popped in my head when Ted said that.
I don't, because people never give the stuff back.
Well, I've lost a lot of games because of that.
Yeah.
Tangeria Tube says, yes, I still find games in my friend's collection. Retro AF says, never trade with a friend. You don't get that back. He's not wrong.
Saying. People don't give you that stuff back. They just take it. Someone still has a PlayStation controller of mine. I think a GameCube game or something.
Oh, I mean,
I don't even talk to them anymore. I don't even remember their name.
I lost the Game Gear that way, the Game Gear battery pack. I've lost a bunch of Game Gear games. I lost a Nintendo.
Yeah.
I let somebody borrow the Nintendo because theirs died and we had moved on to Sega Genesis and everything like that and never got the stuff back.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the same. It's different.
So things have changed from that. I think what we're going to do is we are going to table this subject for now, and we're going to come back to it. I want you guys to think about some of the things think about the days that you let people borrow. Think back some of the games, maybe systems that you lost because you let somebody borrow them. Maybe Brandy, we're going to talk about this next week. And use this as a topic for next week. Is borrowing games still a thing? And I want, if you guys can, send videos in with your stories or just audio only. If you don't want to get on camera, just put like a picture and so we can hear your audio. I think that'll be a fun topic to talk about next week is because this is interesting. I never even gave that a thought until Ted mentioned that and you saying that like that's not really a thing anymore. People don't borrow games. People don't share games.
We can even talk about like the lost stories, lost stolen.
Yes.
Like we could do we'll do a whole thing on that. So tell us your stories. Tell us that crazy thing. Did you get scammed back in the day because they traded you Madden and then you traded away a stadium events like to them? Like tell us what happened.
There's got to be horror stories out there.
On like the trading and the things like that, and like loaning things to family and all that stuff. We want to hear about all that.
I've got some stories too. So I think all these folks have got stories. Get them in. If you do not want to be on video, at least send one of us a message with your story. If you type it out, we're giving you multiple ways here of doing this. We can pull up your chat.
Yeah.
We can read your chat on air. Send it to Brandy. Send it to myself. I don't care. We don't care. Send it to us. Do a quick little video. I don't care how you shoot the video. Pick up your cell phone. And you could point the cell phone at your game that you're talking about. So if you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. And just be like, okay, so I want to tell you guys the story of what happened. I just think it'd be fun to hear all these different stories about this and why trading is not a thing anymore. So, Brandy, what do you got coming up this week in a video for the folks?
Who knows?
Well, we're going to be busy this weekend, so.
I had a lot going on with that worldwide Nintendo 64 set. I was like filming some B-roll and grabbing some old clips, new clips. Like, I was getting all that stuff together. So definitely go check out my more recent videos on obviously the GameStop sales and all that. But more importantly, my Nintendo 64 worldwide game collection. Obviously, there's still like 3 controllers and a console that I need and a couple things, variants and stuff. But overall, I'm happy and content with that. And I'm not going to stop because, there's so many fun things that I'm finding. And you never know what might be in the next video because I find crazy things in my bathtub from 3 years later. So you just have to stay tuned. And then obviously we have here, you can see the shirt, Stone Age Gamer.
Yes.
We're going to be there this weekend. So if you guys are near Salem, Ohio, or anywhere in Ohio that's in driving distance, we will have pizza there. There will be pizza at that event. I'm going to make some like posts and some things now that the podcast is over. And that's like our next thing. So we're going to be there. I'll be in the area Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it's on Saturday. And, just come have a good time, check out the store, come chat with us, come have pizza with us. Might not be able to mail you a slice because
No,
this
because
guy
we already know Brandy won't mail you anything. We
I
just
won't
heard all
ship
that. She
anything,
said she ain't got to mail nothing.
Yeah.
All right? If you caught the beginning part of the show, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But she said, no, I will not mail you the inconvenience. I'm not going to mail you.
Yeah, exactly. But this looks like a really fun time, and I'm excited to see what they have, what Stone Age Gamer has with their retro works. This looks like a really fun experience, like for the community. It looks like a happening place, a happening time. And of course, there's going to be content, and we're going to have Game Masters content, and we're going to have content on both of our channels. So that's what's coming up, and I'm really excited for that.
So, with that, okay, we will have a lot of content because Brandy's going to hang out here on Friday night. We're going to be shooting a lot of content for the upcoming conventions, a lot of stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of work. And then Saturday,
Way to sound
hopefully,
thrilled about it.
no, it's just, we just have a lot of work.
the
We just
work.
have, give me a break. And then Saturday, we'll be at Stone Age Gamer all day. We can come back, get a bite to eat, and then have game night where we could shoot some more content. Yeah, because we actually play games.
Mm-hmm.
She'll get to experience a game night if everybody shows up. So it'll be a lot of fun. So you guys that have been clamoring for pizza, I don't want to hear no excuses. I'm also going to have a review coming up of that gun system that Stone Age Gamer had sent me that brought back. And I know Brandy's going to be doing a review of one as well. When she gets here, she's going to be picking up her guns down there. So we're going to have a lot of content coming. But we appreciate you guys coming out. That's why you guys need to subscribe not only to our individual channels. We're very appreciative of it because we've been growing exponentially thanks to you guys. But we really want you guys to also subscribe to our Game Masters channel. Go over there, and you can also subscribe to the podcast. If you go to thegamemasters.tv, it's that simple. Thegamemasters.tv, it takes you right to our website, which is our podcast website.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to show you here. This is how easy it is, right? You go to thegamemasters.tv, boom, it takes you to the website that's got our latest episode in the top. And usually I get these uploaded like 10 minutes after the show's over. And if you missed any of the episodes, not only do you get to meet us, look at that.
We're having pizza.
We're having pizza.
At Pizza Hut.
We had to put that up there because you all talk about pizza. So I mean, it just works. But you can go back through all of our previous audio episodes. Every single episode that we've ever done is here in audio form. So you can go back and because we don't really talk about the news, and this is not a dig on anybody that talks about the news, so please don't take it like that. This is evergreen content, which means you can go back. It doesn't matter if it was from last year. You can go back and listen to it because it is relevant today. So there's tons and tons, almost 50 episodes, Brandy. We're almost to episode 50.
Wow, that's
on
crazy.
this. So you guys can go over there, and we'd really appreciate it on your favorite podcast app, whether it's iHeartRadio, Podbean, Apple iTunes, Google Play, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. We're on like 20 different locations. So yes. So we got I got a video hopefully coming out this weekend as well. And so it'll be a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I'm doing the review this week or if that's the next video that'll come after that, but I do have a video that's coming either way. And I just want to say, Neo Ness in the chat room, you guys know him, Mr. Neo Geo. Brandy has caught the 3D printing bug.
Yeah.
He got himself a 3D printer, and now he has joined the elite known as the 3D printer nerds, printing stuff for his game room and his car and everything else. And I told him, and I said, now it's downhill from here. You're going to be looking at buying a second machine. And he's like, oh, man. And so the second machine turns to 3, and we're going to have all this. So
that's how it goes. It gets
ya. He's printing right now. So am I, man. So am I. My machines are running 24/7. your electricity is going to go up just from running the 3D printers. But it's really cool. It's a great hobby, and you'll get to see hopefully some of the cool stuff that I've done for Brandy in an upcoming video. And
then at Korg's,
I'll have
not this weekend, but the next weekend he'll have some of his 3D prints there. And if you guys want to come on out, remember there's a big reveal, something crazy happening.
I'm going to try to have a couple of these at Korg's. I know a lot of you guys have asked in the comments about these. Bring your trades. If you don't have a lot of money, that's okay. I see guys selling this for like $200. What I want to do, I'll trade you. If you have games that I need for my NES collection, or if you have other games that you want to trade, ask Daryl. I've traded with him, and that's how he got a kiosk. He got one of these from me. I shipped it out to him. He's one of the first, but I will have a few of them. I won't have a lot. I'm printing one right now. I might have 2 or 3 by next week. That's the goal. But I can always have them at the next one, or we can take your name and I'll ship it to you if you're paying shipping, unlike Brandy here.
Not me, sorry.
I will ship it because that's the type of person I am, unlike Brandy. Anyways.
According to the guy, it's Queen Brandy.
Oh, it's Queen Bee. Queen Bee.
Okay.
I'm going to start calling you Queen Bee.
He's like, please just ship it to me. I'll pay you more. And
you should ship it to him. He was being nice to you.
He was buttering me up. He really wanted that. And then he files a charge back, and we'll see, All
right, guys. We've kept you here long enough, longer than we probably should have. But we will look for our content this weekend. Maybe we'll even do some impromptu live streams from our cell phones at Stone Age Gamer this weekend, just to kind of pop in and let you guys see what's going on. But it won't be some elaborate like you're seeing now. But we'll have that for you guys for next week. So we will see you later, and Brandy will have more bathroom stories and bathtub stories next week. See you guys later.
How much more I can actually fit into this shower here. I feel like I have plenty of room to go ahead and put more stuff. Wait, why are you guys here? You guys aren't supposed to see this. I'm not doing anything in here. This isn't storage. You guys need to get out of here. Go home. Go, get out of here. Stop watching. You don't need to see anything in here.
Occupied. I said it's occupied. What are you guys doing? I gotta go. You gotta go. The show's over. Go. I gotta go.